Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children all ages, goes on your favorite random man, Future King of YouTube, Terrence was in the building today, and how you guys doing? So, man, let's talk about this, because Thunderbolts, girl, gotta excuse me at this one spot. Yeah. Thunderbolts, man, I gotta say, y'all, I actually enjoyed this movie. I really think this movie is actually better than Captain America: Brave New World, but I'll talk more about that later. So, on the topic of that, like, Thunderbolts was actually formed by Baron Zemo. And I'm talking about the very first time I heard about it. But I'm thinking, oh, so Baron Zemo gonna have, but because like Thunderbolts were a group of villains faking to be heroes, but eventually, mostly one by one, all the Thunderbolts turned their back on excuse me, on Baron Zemo. Cause I really thought Thunderbolts was made by Ross, but eventually Ross did have control of the Thunderbolts. But again, this is MCU, nothing like this. But I gotta say, what I love so much about the movie, not just the characters, the cast, but how well it was written. Because the one thing about each and every each one of these characters are dealing with something. From John Walker, from Alexei, the Red Guardian, from Yelena, everybody's dealing with something on here. Because I like how the movie starts off with Yelena's like she's on this mission to destroy this lab. I go home, I go to work, I go home again, and I wait for the next job. So I feel like some type of emptiness, some type of void. And so it really hits you with that. Like she wants, I guess, somewhere to belong. Destroys the lab, and then she leaves. Then, because the whole plot is about Val, for my sake. So the whole thing with Val is she's been investigated with her and her company OXE. And for doing like illegal experiments, because her whole thing is trying to her own superhero, and he pretty much said like the Avengers are not here, the Avengers are gone. Because at the end game, the Avengers disbanded. The Avengers really are no more. And if you remember back towards the end of at the end of Captain America, it sounds like it's time to reform the Avengers. But pretty much, so obviously that didn't happen yet. They even brought up what happened with Captain America when President Ross became the Red Hulk. And she pretty much saying like the Avengers not coming here, and she's trying to do what she can, as she say, quote unquote, save the people of the world, save people of America. So that's her thing. So what she's literally doing is she talks to her assistant Mel. And let me talk about Mel for a hot second, because Mel, when you see her, she had this like pendant, like a bird, like a songbird pendant. That's I'm sorry, not a mockingbird, I should say. I was like, what's with that pendant? Because the first thing I was thinking about when I saw it, I was thinking about the Hunger Games. Then I was like, oh wait a minute, that's Songbird. I was like, oh, I don't know what big part she's going to play leading up towards Doomsday and Secret War. Yelena will go to see Alexei, and Alexei is like, again, David Harbour as Red Guardian. I enjoyed this man so much as his character, because every time he's on the screen, he literally lights it up. It'd be so fun. I hate when I get text messages when I'm trying to do my stuff. I got a good job, I drive a limo, drive important people. Then when Yelena literally sits there and tells him like, hey, I'm thinking about this is the last time I'm working with Val. Alexei gets upset. He's like, I've been trying to work with Val for the longest of time. But Yelena's like, I thought you was fulfilled. I thought you was okay with that. Alexei's saying, I'm not. He said, I'm not fulfilled. I was like, look at my apartment. Look at my place. Say, the time I feel fulfilled, I was at my home country. People respect me, treat me as a celebrity. I was a hero there. You pretty much say I'm nothing here, and so that really bothers. So pretty much, Yelena calls back Val, and Yelena's got to go to this facility out in the desert, try to stop ghosts. Now, here's the crazy thing: with Bucky's trying to get Val in jail, he's trying to get her pretty much go to federal prison across the mail, and she pretty much say like, I was a teenager. I was in school when the aliens attacked. We're talking about the first Avengers movie, and I do have to say, y'all, I do like the little loose end tie up. So then we go to with the incinerator scene, which was so crazy. Was he got Yelena going after Ghost going after John Walker going after Yelena, Taskmaster going after John Walker. It's like, because what Val was trying to do, so she's trying to cover her tracks, trying to tie up every loose end in this movie, and it's crazy how it's going on. Because then, like the fight scene but man, it was really good. Everybody played to their own skills, their own tricks. it worked out pretty much for everybody, and it worked. And then Taskmaster got shot. Now, a lot of y'all may disagree with me, a lot of y'all may agree with me, but y'all know how I feel about MCU Taskmaster. I like the female version of Taskmaster. I said it in my Black Widow. I said many of the times when I talk about MCU about this Taskmaster wasn't good. And another reason they say why they killed her off, they want to show that there are stakes involved with this. And I think, again, I believe the other reason is Taskmaster wasn't a popular villain. Taskmaster wasn't. Even though, like, Taskmaster told Yelena, like, hey, I'm not here for you. But again, this is Val tricking everybody. Ghost killed Taskmaster, and now Val set us up. She's trying to get rid of all of us. I just burped. Oh God. What's happening now is, so now they gotta get out of this incinerator. And so pretty much Ghost try to get out. She can't get out because it got this little sound barrier. So, and I gotta say this. I love John Walker. He's such a lovable douchebag. And he's trying to do right, but he can't. And let's not forget, we still got Bob in here. And the actor who plays Robert Reynolds, I'm gonna say Ryan Reynolds. It's Robert Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. It does have certain blackouts when like the Sentry is involved. But going back to John Walker, man, like those of you who haven't seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, who haven't seen like Hawkeye season 1 or Black Widow, I really think you don't need to watch these movies to know who they are. I mean, watch the other shows or movies to know who they are. But I think it'd be a good refresher for you to know who they are. But you don't really need to watch that, because I think they do such a good job as filtering out why they're here and who they are. John Walker was the Captain America during that time, and they called him Dime Store Captain America, which is so funny to me. They talk about where he killed an innocent man who pretty much said, "I give up," and John Walker's like, "Defy innocent." He's copying so much stuff from Cap. He was like, "On your left." The first time we heard that was on Captain America Winter Soldier. So, but again, he wants to do good, but he does a bad job of doing good. So they managed to break the circuit, and so Ghost got to open the door for the incinerator. So they can escape the incinerator. I think it's like maybe like 5 or 4 seconds left. Yelena closed her eyes. She legit closed her eyes, and she was willing to accept her fate. And she, like, I was like, oh, again. We know they all live thanks to the Doomsday casting, so we all know. But still, you felt that emotion that she like, you know what? This is it. This is where I'm at. Then Yelena had a flashback by one of her friends she led to the woods. Let her friend out to the woods. She got shot by a dude saying, "Yelena, good job. This is your great job on your first mission." And it was like Yelena was a kid when this happened. It was like, oh Jesus, like what in the world? Like what in the world? Then another issue happened when they got up to this elevator shaft, talking about John. When John grabbed Robert, I'm just gonna call him Bob. When John grabbed Bob, he had a flashback, and his wife saying like, "Hey, are you watching the baby?" And John's like, "I'm watching the baby," but what he was on his phone. And just looking at different news articles about him, watching the child. The child been crying for a good minute. And John's like, well, if you don't like what I'm doing, I'm out. Or do it yourself. And then when Yelena brought him back to reality, John was about to fall off. He's about to leap off into the elevator shaft. It was like he was going to accept the fate. With Ghost and doing the limo driving scene, she closed her eyes like she was gonna accept her fate because she only faced about a minute in her ghost form. But then the military stopped her, it stopped her from using her powers. So it's like all these characters was willing to accept their fate, and it was crazy. Like each one has something going on. But I would like to hear more about why Ghost she doing what she doing, because I remember Lawrence Fishburne's character who played Black Goliath. I think he was dealing with some kind of illness. I don't know. It's like I want to know like what did Ghost go through. With Sentry, I was very impressed. I was so impressed with Sentry, how they did the character. The actor who did Sentry was very good. The costume, some people call it cringe. Kinda, I don't see it that way. I think it looked good for what it's worth. It was good. Like the fight scenes against them in Sentry was so good because like you talk about uber one-sided. Like he's like then when he was getting shot up by Winter Soldier, he literally stopped the bullets, and it like what Val told Bob was like you're pretty much like you can do whatever you put your mind to it, and I think Bob really hasn't fully fleshed out his powers or his ability yet, and eventually they had like Winter Soldier just got one arm by his own arm, which was crazy. I'm like, man, this Junker's wild. And at one point, Robert was like, why should I listen to you? Like you say you more strong. You say you more powerful. You say I'm more powerful than all the Avengers, and the Avengers had a god on their team. So why should a god? He was about to kill her until they used thanks to Mel, she used the kill switch to fry Bob's head, and she was like, Mel's like, I want to raise. Val, sorry, I keep trying to say the whole name. Val thought she said there's bad guys and there's worse guys. I think in Val's mind, she feels like she's like lesser of the two. She's bad, but she's like what she got to do is I gotta do this to make the world safe. Because even Val had a flashback with Bob, saw her father get killed, but Void getting ready to come, like he's going to come for. But man, one of the most heart-wrenching scenes when Yelena was talking to Alexei, and she's gonna say like for a year I didn't see you. Said my sister gone for real this time, and you wasn't there. Where were you? And Alexei was like, I thought it's like since I'm disappointed, I thought she didn't want to see me. And like you felt that heart-wrenching moment. Then the one scene he said, why did you want? He asked, why did you want to be a goalie? Because she want people to depend on her, and which was also a good thing. Oh my God, so good. Pretty much when you walk in the room, Yelena, you always lit up the room. And she's like, that was good, Dad. Man, that was like that was so heart-wrenching. Then let's get to the Void, because man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Because when I saw the Void, at first it kind of grew on me. I'm not gonna lie. After watching, I'm like, I just hate how he just a little silhouette. You just got these beady eyes looking at you. So, but it grew on me over time when I was watching the movie. But man, the way he made people into shadow skid marks, it kind of reminded me of that movie called Vanishing on 7th Street. How these shadow people were just making people disappear. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. But yeah, so anyways, Void is doing crazy damage, and pretty much the Thunderbolts are coming together to stop him. So they said that we can't stop him. So what happened was, this happened in the comics. Like he was literally with the Void's darkness, he was pretty much like nearly take over New York City. So they had to go inside like a domain expansion, and pretty much had to figure out how to stop him. Yelena went first. She had to go through all her traumas, and she said she was like at home drunk, dealing with all the madness that she had to go through. And then you saw what Bob went through, where his father was being abusive to his mother and towards him. I think his mother was like verbally abusive to him, saying, "Bob, you ruined everything." And I'm not gonna. I knew how they had to defeat Bob. Talk no jutsu. That's the only way they're gonna have to beat him. But at the same time, they written it well. It worked. And man, and then when Bob came back, he just didn't remember nothing anymore. So like I said, again, Sentry is gonna be in Doomsday. I don't know if we're gonna be in Secret Wars. So obviously, it's gonna be fun how they gonna compare Doom and Sentry. How Sentry gonna compare against the Hulk and Thor. So I wonder how that's all gonna play out as well. The day is saved, right? So Bob don't remember nothing. So now they're about to turn Val in. So as soon as since everybody walked through the curtains or the rubble, and Val's like, the new Avengers. So that's what the asterisk for, because the Thunderbolts was somewhat named after Val's, at Yelena's soccer team, which never won the game. So now the new Avengers, they said that new Avengers then. And this one thing that really bothered me with this. So I'm thinking Yelena's gonna say, hey, no, that's not true. We're not nothing. We're here to arrest her, because that's what I think like Winter Soldier would do. But yeah, Yelena says, now we own you, because they know Val's secrets. I'm like, why would Bucky be with this and not and not take her in? So that's it. Because then one thing I did like during the end credits, you see like the B Avengers, not my Avengers. Are they heroes or are they jokes? So nobody really not taking them seriously. So it goes like 14 months later, the new Avengers, and now you got Sam Wilson getting his Avenger team together, and Sam is trying to trademark the Avengers name. They said it pretty much ended badly. So, even though I hate that Bucky's with that, but I do love the fact that it builds up a good story for that to happen. And then you got Alexei coming in to Avengers with his but that's even funny. I've got one more post-credit scene. Well, another scene that was also pretty good was like they had the Thunderbolts or the new Avengers on this Wii box. He kept showing his face like, "Hey, this does it look familiar?" And the lady took the cereal box, put it in her cart. While she was leaving, she took the cereal box out and just put it somewhere else. That was so funny. But again, going back to the last post-credit scene. Oh my God. They're talking about they had some type of space anomaly coming in. You see the spaceship and it showed the Four. So yes, this does get me excited for Fantastic Four. I think I really believe this movie did what it needed to do. It gave me more hype for Doomsday. It also gave me more hype for Fantastic Four. So again, even though my bar is really kind of still set low, I'm still kind of hyped for it. It's low, but I'm hyped. So if you get what I'm saying. So we're gonna wrap this up, guys. I hope you enjoyed my review. I know I probably missed some things here and there, but I will say go to the theaters, go watch this movie. Again, if I'm going to rate this, I'm gonna give it an 8, a solid 8. Where with Brave New World, to me it's like a 6.37. That's how I feel. I definitely believe this was way better than Captain America: Brave New World. Not against Anthony Mackie, the story was just kind of whack. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, come to Ransom. We do have those cookies. Hashtag me, Corey's Kitchen. And please, I'm gonna say it one more time. Please, you guys stay random. I see you all in the next video. Y'all, take it easy.